I am worn out.
Why?
I had to park a whole one spot over from where I normally do. We're talking another 10 feet to get in here.
That's just another reason why we need to work out. And I just booked us a session. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's a beautiful day, don't you know? It's a beautiful day.
This is The Thread.
Tim, you're really gonna like this guy. He's one of the best trainers in St. Louis.
Are you sure we need this?
Yes, we need this. It'll be good.
All
It's
right.
good for us.
Hey! Oh, no.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Great.
Long time no workout.
No, I've been doing it on the down low.
And been eating.
We've been doing a lot of cross training.
Yeah. In fact, we just had a DIY workout. Remember that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. And we dressed like 80s workout people. That counts for something, right?
Oh, and we had like 15 costume changes in 2 minutes.
I did lip ups when I was in the kissing booth.
Anyway,
Oh! We were cheerleaders for an entire.
Yes, spirit fingers.
first of all, if you was a cheerleader,
Oh, you was?
that's already wrong. But I got a better workout for y'all. Down and up, let's go. Kick it back, come up, jumping jack. Let's go.
The burpee, we did it! We did one! Yeah, what's next?
I need 10 more of those. Squeeze your glutes at the top. You don't have any, Tim? Squeeze your glutes.
Why are you kissing?
Yeah, why do you sound like there's something wrong with you, man?
It's all about the breathing.
Time. You all right?
Woo!
It's really not that bad.
Feel the burn. You didn't have to go an extra half minute. I don't want to hear it.
Don't worry about all that. Just go have a water break and then come right back.
You got it. I'm ready for this part.
He's gonna be so impressed. We're gonna teach him something.
I know, right? See you in 45.
What are y'all doing?
Napper size.
Stop with the blankets. Napper size is not an exercise. What
Yeah.
are y'all doing? Get up. I don't want to hear it. It's not a thing. A run is a thing, what you're about to go do.
I can't sleep with you talking.
Keep talking. I swear, you'll never sleep again.
Where are we?
I don't know, but surely we've done a mile and a half.
I'm gonna do the manly thing and ask for directions. Hey, how are you? I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Good to see you. Yeah, we're trying to figure out where we are.
You guys are in Midtown St. Louis.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a mile and a half for sure.
Absolutely.
What do you got going on? What are these?
These are bags of blessings. They're general necessity bags for the homeless.
Oh, there's a story there.
I was in the 3rd grade and my mom and I went to Chicago for the American Girl Store as a trip. Well, I ended up doing that, but I was really sad because I saw a lot of homeless people who didn't have anything, and here I was wanting to go shopping, and I felt really bad about that. So I ended up spending a lot of money helping the homeless, but when I got home, I wanted to start my own organization, so I started Katie Cares. Now I'm 23 and I'm still serving the homeless. It's run out of my vehicle. I have my bags of blessings. You don't know when the last time they had a meal was, and this can go a really long way, especially when there's toiletries in here, food in here, water in here, even a note of encouragement in here. And just delivering it with a smile, it's something really simple that you can do, and it shows that you're a human and they're a human too. We have everything from sleeping bags to underwear to tents and tarps to clothes and shoes in here as well. Everyone has a story. I had a friend that was actually a doctor, and he had a couple of surgeries, and because of those surgeries and he had so many medical bills that he actually became homeless. I've gotten to know a lot of the homeless community at SLU because I'm over at SLU a lot. I've just got a lot of medical gunk going on in my head. I've had a couple surgeries. Even when I'm having a really bad day, or I think that my life may not be the best thing in the world, and they have these wonderful positive outlooks. It's not about just distributing supplies. It's about building a friendship and making sure that they feel loved and that they're not just a homeless person.
Love what you're doing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
Such
you
a pleasure
so
meeting
much.
you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey, could you give us a little direction on how to get back to Clayton?
Yeah, I would take 40 West.
Got it. Thank you.
But I would take a car.
Katie Cares serves 40 to 500 people a day. And
Wow.
you can help out. All you have to do is go to k-cares.org, and you can even learn how to create your own blessing bags.
You know, I think it's amazing. With all she's carrying on her shoulders with her own personal health struggles, she chooses not to let that define her. She's all about moving to the needs of people around her, not worrying about her affliction, not letting that be the definition of who she is, she's moving to the needs of others, which reminds me of John O'Leary.
Yes.
We've been telling you all about his story. 9 years old, 100% of his body burned, given very little chance to live, and yet all these people entered into his life who told him it's not over. This isn't the end of your story, including one very special nurse named Roy.
I had a nurse named Roy. He was a CNA. He was this bigger-than-life African-American fella, looked just like Apollo Creed. He would unhook me from the bed, pick me up in his big, beautiful, bare arms, and get me to walk back toward the bandage change. My legs had no muscle on them, so I'm not able to bear my own weight back then. But he's holding me upright and dragging me. And as he drags me / walks me back, he's whispering into my right ear the words, "Boy, you are going to walk again. You might as well get used to it." And then he would say, "And I'll walk with you. Come on, move those legs, move those legs." I hated him because I knew the dude's a liar. I've seen my legs, man, they're burned terribly. I'll never walk. And the following day, I'm hanging out in this burn center bed, tied down. Big Roy walks back in, unhooks me from this grave garment, picks me back up, gets me back on my feet, and says, "Boy, listen to me. You are going to walk again. Come on." This goes on day after day for the 5 months that I'm in hospital. I hate this guy. Eventually leave his care, never see him again. 27 years later in Alabama, one of the leaders for Alabama Power Company, Brent, comes back up on stage. He brings me back up on stage, and he said, "You had a nurse who did great work for you." And I said, "Man, I had a ton of great nurses." He said, "You did, but you had one in particular, large African-American man." He said, "What was his name?" "Roy." He said, "What would he say?" "Boy, you are gonna walk again."
Well, or did it sound something like this?
"Boy, you will walk again."
And out steps this ripped, masculine, beautiful guy named Roy. They found Roy, they flew him down his first flight into Eufaula, Alabama. Incredible story of not only selfless love, but you asked earlier, Tim, about ordinary folks. There are no ordinary people. I mean, he's a minimum wage CNA who taught me to walk.
So many angels along the way that entered into his life. And here's the interesting thing. You hear that story and you think Nurse Roy is the caregiver?
Right.
Get this, you talk to Nurse Roy and he says how much it's done for him to hear what he's done for John O'Leary. He had no idea the impact he had on him, and it's done wonders for him as well.
And he's just one of the people who came and helped John O'Leary through his struggle.
Yes.
He wrote a book about it. It's called On Fire. It is fascinating. I read it in a day. If you want to get the book or find out more about John O'Leary, just go to johnolearyinspires.com. All right.
Inspired to run some more?
Got to.
Let's go. It's been a mile and a half yet.
The Thread, brought to you by Bomarito Automotive Group.
This is Frank Bomarito. You'll get a bigger selection and better value when you visit any Bomarito location. State-of-the-art showrooms and the most advanced service centers. Bomarito has over 8,000 new and 2,000 pre-owned vehicles, all with Missouri's best pricing, greatest financing, and lease options for everyone. Nobody has more. Nobody sells more. Your next car is at Bomarito or Bomarito.com. We're in every neighborhood.
There's certain things I can't do, but I still get up every morning and do it. Someone once told me, "But you don't look sick." Just like anyone else, I eat right, exercise, and get the right amount of sleep. Some days, this is easier said than done. If it was up to me, I would stay in bed all day. Friends don't understand me canceling on our plans when I'm tired, and work doesn't understand why I call in sick when I sound just fine. It's hard to understand when you can't see anything wrong. I'll handle tomorrow when it gets here. Each day is a different hill to climb. I am 21 years old, and I have lived with lupus for 7 years, and I'm not the only one. Over 5 million people worldwide struggle with lupus every day. To learn more about this disease, go to lupus.org. By knowing more, we'll be able to answer the questions that surround this mysterious disease.
Whoa, this show's just getting started, and once again, more stories about people sharing their experience and their strength and their hope and how they've overcome amazing struggles.
Yeah, stories that will inspire you, and you know what? They inspire us too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think we come at this thing from a place of perfection, absolutely not. I mean, there are days when we come to work and we're riding pretty low. But we go out and we're able to share these stories, and people share their stories with us, and it lifts us up and gives us strength to carry on.
It shows us, too, that God knows what we need and what we need to hear, because a lot of times he's using you guys to talk to us.
He does it all the time. I mean, we can't tell you how many times we've gone in to do a story, and we've heard exactly what we needed to hear at that particular moment of that particular day.
It's like they read our mail.
They do.
Hey,
we read yours.
Speaking of mail, we wanted to tell you what Alice had to say about our Mother's Day show. She wrote, I saw what other moms and kids went through and how they came out stronger, and it touched my heart. Makes me realize there is still good in this world, and God is in the midst of it.
He is absolutely in the midst. He's in the midst of the show. We got more coming up, so stay tuned.
My husband and I don't think of Securus like a firm. We really think of it as more like a family. Our friends at Securus really care about the people they serve. My favorite thing is they made it clear and simple to plan our retirement. Not only do we feel prepared, we feel protected, and that is all because of Securus and the Circle of Advisors. It's so easy, we only have to come to one place for our tax advice, insurance, legal needs, and investments.
Securus Circle of Advisors, helping people build and secure their vision of retirement.
I don't know any other place like it. I just know I like it.
This week's Thread Up story is brought to you by Securus Circle of Advisors.
Are they playing with me? I told them a mile and a half. Have y'all seen these two?
No.
All right, thank you. Where are they at? Hey, have you seen these two?
I have actually, yeah. They're right down the road. They're dancing in the street.
We're dancing in the street.
I swear I'm gonna kill them.
Okay, I gotta get some water. I can't.
Let's try this out.
Oh, I like the
Maybe
porch.
somebody's home.
Hi.
Hi. Can you tell us where we are?
Wildwood, is that right?
Oh,
It's real close to Clayton.
sure.
Yeah. Hey, do you happen to have any water? She's parched.
Sure, come on in.
Thank you so much.
Here you guys go, you have to be thirsty.
Thank you.
We're so thirsty.
Ooh, been running.
Yeah.
I like your glass. What is
Oh,
that?
thanks.
It's the Derby Day.
That's from an event we just had this weekend. So we had the glasses sitting out for a nonprofit that I run called Bridget's Brigade. I'm a 10-year breast cancer survivor. So we throw a big party every year out at Chandler Hill and raise money to help families here in St. Louis who are going through treatment for, we started with just breast cancer because that's what I had, but now we do all different types of cancers. We do cleaning for them, lawn service, and then we also do gift cards for meals. We really try to pay it forward to others because we can't repay everyone who helped us. We literally had an army. They just carried us through those 2 years.
Take us back to when you were diagnosed. I mean, what in the world was going through your head?
It was the week before my 31st birthday, so I was 30 years old. When they tell you, it just rocks your world. All I thought about was my boys, because they were babies.
It was about a week after Bridget's diagnosis. I work at St. Louis U High, and I was leaving work one day, and I had a very interesting conversation with somebody who I really didn't know. And it was almost as if there was this higher presence talking to me through somebody else. Basically told me, leave the cancer up to the doctors, trust in God, turn to God. When I came home that afternoon, I just broke down.
He kept saying his eyes, his eyes.
And I couldn't stop sobbing for 5 or 10 minutes, and my poor wife was like, what the heck is wrong with you?
He said, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. And I kept thinking, like, only a doctor telling him that I was gonna be okay, and it wasn't. It was just a man and a custodian at a school in an elevator. He realized that God would carry us through this, and we would be okay no matter how it ended. Because I was such a control freak about everything, I thought, like, I'll do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm in control of everything, and this made me 100% realize that God's in control, not me.
It strengthened our faith, first and foremost. And again, it's also kind of taught us, and hopefully us teaching our kids, that, you know, life is not about what happens to you, it's about how you react to what happens to you. And I think the whole point of that is to go out and make a difference for other people.
Bridget's boys don't even remember their mom being sick, but they've just been raised in that environment. Recently, they raised $8,500 for a girl who needs a liver transplant at their school.
And Ben, Bridget's husband, he's also written a book trying to help other husbands know how to serve their spouses when they're going through something like that. And that story about Isaac.
Oh, those eyes.
Yes. We are so lost.
We gotta stop.
Excuse me, can you tell us where we are?
Francis Howell North.
Francis Howell North?
Oh,
How'd we get out here?
I have no idea. Do you think someone in there could tell us how to get back to where we started?
Come on in, this is my school.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll follow you.
Yeah. Hey, tell us about you. We want to hear your story.
I love school and I do not want to miss a day. I like being with my friends at school. I have perfect attendance since 6th grade.
I understand you do really well in school, too.
Yes.
He's a very hardworking student, and he is absolutely determined to do exactly what all the other kids are doing and to prove that he can do it too.
I may look different and I cannot do everything by myself, but I am just like them.
It all started in a dream that God was speaking to me and said that there's a little boy in Vietnam that will not have a family unless we adopt him. We had already adopted 3 children internationally. Our adoption agency sent out newsletters at that time, and there was a picture of Andrew, and I knew it was him. In utero for Andrew, when the brain was developing, the motor center did not develop. And so he lacks gross motor, fine motor, and oral motor skills. He can't sit, stand, walk. He can't talk.
Andrew's just a really funny guy.
He likes to tease me because I love Kansas and he's a big Mizzou fan.
My interests include baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, and pretty girls.
He changes my perspective by showing me his perspective. And I mean, he always puts a positive spin on anything.
Andrew is a real testament to every life is worth living, and that every life can be fully lived, and that brings hope to many people.
Andrew, such a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see ya.
Bye, Tim and Virginia. Yep, they are lost.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, V.
What do you get when you find a beautiful chair in the middle of Tower Grove Park?
I'd say it's a really good time for the Hot Seat, brought to you by Rothman Furniture.
The Luca Club chair adds a refined appeal to your living room with indigo blue fabric upholstery. Get your elegant Luca Club chair at Rothman Furniture.
Oh, yeah, V, we got 2 contestants ready to go in the hot seat.
That's right. Tim is here with his beautiful bride, Beth.
All right, are we ready to go?
We're ready.
All right, our topic is exercise. This clock will start when I ask the first question. You got 30 seconds. You ready? Here we go. Okay. This exercise requires you to lie belly first on the floor and push yourself up from the ground.
You mean like a push-up?
Yes!
Hey.
This workout combines jazz and exercise.
Jazzercise?
Yes, absolutely. This exercise requires you to jump, but your name doesn't have to be Jack to do it.
Jumping Jills?
Oh, close.
Jumping Jack!
Yes.
Oh, Jumping Jack.
Kids make
Where's
this
Jack?
exercise a game by singing Cinderella, dressed in yellow, went upstairs to kiss her fella. Made a mistake, kissed the snake. How many doctors did it take? 1. Jump rope! Yeah!
Time!
Congratulations!
You did it!
I don't know that one.
You conquered the hot seat! Brought to you by Rothman Furniture.
Like we always say, nobody does a Memorial Day sale better than Rothman.
At Rothman's Memorial Day sale, get up to an extra 40% off your entire purchase with no minimum. Everything's on sale. Plus doorbusters like this sofa, $299. Reclining sofa, $473. 5-piece dining set, $283. 5-piece bedroom, $573. And a Serta Queen mattress set, $193. Then get up to an extra 40% off your entire purchase or 0 interest for 5 years.
It's a Memorial Day sale you won't want to miss. There's always something new at Rothman Furniture and Mattress.
Hey, St. Louis, the thread is your show.
Our stories come from you. In fact, 2 of the stories on today's show came from Jessica Gentry and Martha Hefner, so thank you.
Go to our Facebook page, hit message, and send us your story.
Things are getting very interesting down on the farm at Eckert's. That's right, farm fresh, homegrown strawberries are available now in the Belleville Country Store. These berries are so merry, they're planning a party. Don't miss the Strawberry Festival every weekend in May at Eckert's Farm in Belleville.
So what, St. Louis? Brought to you by Endeavor Capital Mortgage. Tell us something fun. What's your favorite form of exercise?
I like to take really long walks.
It is swimming because it is very low impact, but you'll burn through calories before you even know it.
Want to walk a bit?
Sure.
All right. Man, I miss working out. I miss that good feeling. Just makes me feel healthy.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, yes and no. If I'm working out for healthy reasons, then yes. But there was a time that I used to work out and it was not so healthy.
No kid.
Yeah, like I literally would run 7 days a week. Sometimes I ran twice a day.
Wow. Why?
Yeah. I was not happy. I was disgusted with myself, to be honest. It all started when I was 13. My dad was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I didn't understand what that meant. I just knew that whatever it was took away my dad, the dad I knew. And I was really confused. I was ashamed. And it was about that time that I got obsessed. I became obsessed with my body image. And so I wanted to look as perfect as possible because I thought everybody had it together but me. And now my family had this deep secret that I had to hide as well. So I was actually dealing with my own form of mental illness, of depression. Instead of talking about my feelings, I would bury them in food. I didn't talk to anybody about it. And this went on for 20 years until one day I just hit my rock bottom. I'd pushed all my friends away. I was living in a house by myself in South St. Louis, and I would get up every day to go anchor the news and look as perfect as possible. And then I would come home and I would eat myself into a sugar coma. And then I'd get up, I'd go work out, I'd come home, I'd eat some more, I'd go to sleep, I'd get up, hate myself for what I did the day before. It was awful. I mean, it was, yeah, I mean, I went into television, this is sad, but I went into television not to help people. I went into TV to have an identity. I mean, it was a false identity, but to me,
Right.
that's the only thing that made me feel significant. And so one day after I'd pushed everybody away, I just started to explore God's word, and I started to ask him, really you can use me, you know, these damaged goods? I can help people by just being the person that you designed me to be? And I started to reach out and tell my story, and I connected with other people who also battled depression. I realized I wasn't alone, and I realized that this isn't the end. I can do something with this. It was like I woke up from a deep, dark sleep.
Yeah.
So Tim, when I heard you share your story on the radio, your story of alcohol addiction, I thought, whoa, not this guy, not the guy that St. Louis adores, that wakes us up every morning and makes us smile. He was once messed up too.
Still am.
And that's when God gave me the idea. Let's show people how to be real.
Yeah.
Let's show them that their past did not define them, that it doesn't matter what they've done or where they've been, they are worthy of love. And we're all connected. We see this on this show all the time. We're part of a thread that weaves in and out of people's lives. We just have to wake up to life to be a part of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned worthy of love. That's not what you felt in the depths of your depression. I mean, you thought the eating disorder defined you, your broken family defined you, and the evil one would like you to think that's who you are. That's the end of the story, period, done deal. But it's not. It's actually the beginning of a new chapter in your story where God can speak in and through it to other people. Bridget of Bridget's Brigade, she was diagnosed with a cancer with a very low survival rate. And yet through her struggle and her recovery, she and her whole family are now able to minister to other families in a similar situation.
And Andrew, he was born missing part of his brain, and yet he lives a full life. He does well in school, he has friends, and he's constantly sending the message that I have a challenge, but that's all it is, a challenge, not the end.
No doubt.
And Katie, who is battling a mysterious illness right now, but she doesn't focus on that. She focuses on the homeless people she serves, and every day wants to make sure that they see that they too are worthy of love.
Yeah, John O'Leary, I mean, he could have thrown in the towel several times, right? Burned over 100% of his body as a 9-year-old boy. He could have said, that's it, I'm burned, damaged, done. But God sent people into his life like Nurse Roy to say, that is not the end of your story. Nurse Roy says, you are gonna walk again. And God says, I'm gonna use your story to minister to thousands who are struggling with all sorts of things. John O'Leary didn't think he had a story to tell until he embraced the pain and the scars and recognized that those were the vehicle which God was gonna use to speak to others. Soren Kierkegaard is an author and theologian who said when he got saved, he thought that God was gonna give him this brand new, perfect, flawless life. What he found instead was, though, that God gave him back that same old life that he wouldn't have picked up if he found it lying on the side of the road. See, it's not about us becoming perfect. It's about us resting in his perfection. I mean, it's a really good thing that God can draw straight lines with crooked sticks because that's all he's got. It's all he's got to work with. We're all damaged. Look at the folks in the Bible. Look at Abraham and Sarah. God tells them, I'm going to bless the entire world through your offspring. And they're like, God, in case you didn't notice, we don't have any kids and we are way too old. God says, watch. David, he's too young, he's too small, he's just a shepherd boy. What's he gonna do? What did he do? He slayed Goliath with his slingshot and became king. The disciples, all sorts of dysfunction there, and yet Jesus invests the good news in them and they go out and change the world. Paul in his letter to the Philippians, chapter 4, verse 17, while he's in prison says, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Virginia, it wasn't in your strength that you conquered all those demons and all those battles that you were fighting. It was in his. And, and the world will label us all sorts of things. The world will call us damaged, limited, worthless. But in Christ, we're given new names, brand new names. Damaged becomes delightful, limited becomes limitless, and worthless becomes worthy. And it's not in anything we've done. It's about resting in what Christ has done on the cross. And then we're able to go out and say, not, look what I did, but look what he did. And watch how he's going to use it to deliver the good news to people all around the world and all the people in my life.
Yeah, our struggle is not the end of our story, it is the beginning of our story.
Absolutely.
But now it is time for the end.
But not the end. It's the end, brought to you by Midwest Hemorrhoid Treatment Center.
That was a good run.
Yeah, it felt good.
Fun.
Yes.
Really? Y'all finally made it back, huh?
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's on now. Let's go. Let's really work out. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, thread up, y'all.
Spot Media Production Group.